Good morning students. We are studying Science 1 and last time we have started with the new chapter number 7, lenses. We have studied in detail about the concave and convex lens. Even we have seen the rules to draw the ray diagram for both the lenses. Even we have drawn the ray diagrams for different position of the object for both the lenses. Even we have seen the sign convention, lens formula, magnification and power of lens. Now we are going to study the next topic, working of human eye and lens. There is a very thin transparent cover membrane on the human eye. This is called cornea. You can see here in this picture, this is the transparent layer which is called the cornea. Light enters the eye through it. Maximum amount of incident light is refracted inside the eye at the outer surface of the cornea. There is a dark fleshy screen behind the cornea. This is called iris. You can see here, this is the iris. The color of iris is different for different people. As you can see, the eye of the people is brown or blue, etc. There is a small hole of changing diameter at the center of the iris which is called the pupil. You can see here, this is the pupil. The pupil controls the amount of light entering the eye. And this is the construction of a human eye, where you can see the first layer which is a transparent called the cornea. Inside that there is the iris, and for different people the color of iris is different. Then comes here the pupil which controls the maximum light entering through it. Then there is the crystalline lens which is shown here. Even there are light sensitive cells which is present in the retina. And here are the optic nerves which carries the messages to the brain and vice versa. If the light fall on the eye is too bright, pupil contracts, while if the light is dim, it widens. On the surface of the iris, there is bulge of transparent layers. There is a double convex transparent crystalline lens just behind the pupil. You can see here, this is the transparent crystalline lens. The lens provides small adjustment of the focal length to focus the image. This lens creates real and inverted image of an object on the screen inside the eye. This screen is made up of light sensitive cell is called the retina. This is the retina and these are the light sensitive cells, rod and cone type. These cells get excited when lights fall on them and generate electric signals. These signals are conveyed to the brain through optic nerve. Later, the brain analyzes the signals and converts them in such a way that we perceive the object as they actually are. While seeing object at large infinite distance, the lens of the eye becomes flat and its focal length increases. You can see here in this diagram, the lens has been flat and the focal length increases. While seeing nearby object, the lens becomes more rounded and its focal length decreases. You can see here in this picture, the lens become rounded and even the focal length decreases. This way we can see objects clearly irrespective of their distance. The capacity of the lens to change its focal length as per need is called its power of accommodation. Although the elastic lens can change its focal length to increase or decrease it, it cannot do so beyond a limit. This is the important point that you have to note it down. The minimum distance of an object from a normal eye at which it is clearly visible without stress on the eye is called a minimum distance of distinct vision. The position of the object at this distance is called the near point of the eye. For a normal human eye, the near point is at 25 cm. The farthest distance of an object from a human eye at which it is clearly visible without stress on the eye is called farthest distance of distinct vision. The position of the object at this distance is called the far point of the eye. For a normal human eye, the far point is infinity. Now let us study the next topic, defects of vision and their correction. Some people cannot see things clearly due to loss of accommodation of power of the lenses in their eyes. Because of defective refraction by the lenses, the vision becomes faint and fuzzy. In general, there are three types of refraction defects. Let us see one by one. First is the nearsightedness or myopia. The eye can see the nearby objects clearly, but the distant objects appear indistinct. This means that the far point of the eye is not at infinity, but shifts closer to the eye. In nearsightedness, the image of a distant object forms in front of the retina. You can see here in this picture, this is the retina and the object is formed which is in front of the retina. There are two reasons for this defect. First, the curvature of the cornea and the eye lens increases. The muscles near the lens cannot relax so that the converging power of the lens remains large. Second, the eyeball elongates so that the distance between the lens and the retina increases. Correction for nearsightedness. It can be corrected by using spectacles with concave lens of proper focal length. This lens diverges the incident ray and this diverged ray can be converged by the lens in the eye to form the image on the retina. You can see here we have used the concave lens and this is the retina and image is formed on the retina. The focal length of a concave lens is negative, so a lens with negative power is required for correcting nearsightedness. The power of a lens is different for different eyes, depend on the magnitude of their nearsightedness. Second is the farsightedness or hypermetropia. The eye can see the distant objects clearly but cannot see nearby objects distinctly. This means that the near point of the eye is no longer at 25 cm but shifts farther away. In farsightedness, the image of a nearby objects get formed behind the retina. You can see here in this picture where this is the retina and the image is formed here which is behind the retina. There are two reasons for this defect. First, the curvature of the cornea and the eye lens decreases so that the converging power of the lens becomes less. Second, due to flattening of the eyeball, the distance between the lens and the retina decreases. Correction for farsightedness. It can be corrected by using spectacles with convex lens of proper focal length. This lens converges the incident ray before they reach the lens. The lens then converges them to form the image on the retina. You can see here in this picture where we have used the convex lens and this is the retina and image is formed on the retina. The focal length of a convex lens is positive, so a lens with positive power is required for correcting farsightedness. The power of the lens is different for different eyes depending on the extent of farsightedness. Third topic is the presbyopia. Generally, the focusing power of the eye lens decreases with age. The muscles near the lens lose their ability to change the focal length of the lens. You can see here in this picture clearly. The near point of the lens shifts farther from the eye. Because of this, old people cannot see nearby objects clearly. Some people suffer from nearsightedness as well as farsightedness. In such a case, bifocal lenses are required to correct the defect. This is the bifocal lens which is being used. In such lenses, upper part is a concave lens and correct nearsightedness. This is the upper part in which concave lens is used for distant vision, while the lower part is a convex lens which corrects the farsightedness. This is the lower part which is the convex lens used for reading. Next topic is the apparent size of an object. Consider two objects PQ and P1Q1 having same size but kept at different position from the eye as shown here in the figure. As the angle alpha subtended by PQ at the eye is larger than the angle beta subtended by P1Q1, PQ appears bigger than P1Q1. You can see here the angle made by alpha is at PQ and the angle made by beta is at P1Q1, and the angle of alpha is greater than that of the beta. Thus, the apparent size of an object depends on the angle subtended by the object at the eye.